Crypto is a scam. Keep money in banks. Banks are scams. Keep money in crypto. And in fact, before, the choice might have been easy. However, with the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, Elon Musk is tweeting out the dilemma that we all face. Are we doing crypto or are we doing banks? And welcome back to the channel. I want to give you some details and highlights of what is going on. The drama continues with SVB. And in fact, it's going to be fireworks on Monday. Let's look at some of the headlines together, guys. Hey, Elon Musk is open to the idea of buying Silicon Valley Bank, but as a Tesla investor tells him, no thanks. And who knows? I mean, it's already a circus over there with Musk and Twitter and Tesla. FDIC races to start returning some uninsured SVB deposits on Monday. So basically, we talked about this before. Up to $250K is insured, so you're going to get that money back on Monday. That's guaranteed. But most of these accounts over at SVB, I think it's something like 93% of them that's basically the gist, have more than 250,000, so essentially uninsured. According to this, maybe you'll get 30% to 50% of your uninsured money. We're gonna find out on Monday. I mean, no one knows. This is why it's so crazy. Hedge funds, bank offers to buy deposits as SVB fails. We can look at some of the details. In fact, Oaktree is among the hedge funds that offered to buy the deposits with bids ranging from 60 cents to 80 cents on the dollar. And also, too, we see that the bids reflect a range of expectations for how much of the uninsured deposits ultimately recovered once the bank's assets are sold or wind down. Oaktree, actually, I've met Howard Marks. He's known for picking up distressed assets, so he thinks that there's something there. Jeffries is saying, you know what? We'll offer at least 70 cents on the dollar. And essentially, this is sort of what's going on. So I think someone, at least according to this, is interested in this thing. But again, we're going to find out. Some people may not want to jump in at all. Or it could be more like the big banks, like a JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, these kind of things. So we're going to find out on Monday. Other things that are happening as well, you can see here, Silicon Valley Bank collapsed its off blame game in the tech industry. And it's interesting because this isn't the only thing that's been collapsing recently. I'm sure you guys know that probably crypto, Silvergate, these kind of things, also FTX. I think all of these things are related and sort of emblematic of we have a problem with our regulations, because oftentimes people will be asking, how could you let this happen? Speaking of which, so when the government actually took over Silicon Valley Bank, evidently, you can read the headlines, SVB's new owner, the FDIC, gives workers 45 days of employment. I think after that, the workers are going to be out. This is a quote from the government here. It is a standard practice for us to ask employees to work with us during the resolution process, said a spokesman from the FDIC. It is one of the first things we do after being named receiver. And then again, my understanding is after the 45 days, the workers will be let go. After Silicon Valley Bank's fails, tech startups race to meet payroll. And essentially, right, the bank fails and it stops the circulation of money. My understanding is that there are employees who have their mortgages through SVB. They also have auto loans through SVB, any number of things. And, people need to get paid. And if they don't get paid, they can't pay their obligations. And I'm sure you can understand the big problem is if startups can't reach payroll. Now, one of the things that also going on is like everyone's sort of tweeting out kind of the experiences they're having. And you're reading these crazy headlines. Here's another one. Startups that use Silicon Valley Bank are freaking out over whether they'll get next week's payroll. Our money is gone. That's a quote. Here's another one. Hundreds of startups face a crippling cash crunch and an extinction level event if no one buys Silicon Valley Bank by Monday. And this was the person tweeting out the extinction level event. This is Gary Todd. If you know, he's the president and CEO of Combinator. And basically what that is, it's like a place that you can apply to go. And then you pitch your idea for your new business to essentially venture capitalists / investors. And this person is essentially the key to all the things happening in this space, startup / venture capital space in Silicon Valley. So he's saying, if you don't rescue this bank, we're going to have an extinction level event. And maybe, I think it's something like 10 years back, setting back the startup industry. So this is actually quite a crazy thing. This is probably my favorite tweet that I saw. This is Nikita Beer. He's saying, I have heard from a trusted source that the apocalypse is tomorrow. That may or may not be the case. This was another one that was kind of funny. Popular Kids Toy Store Camp is paying customers for cash because its money is tied up in SVB. It's one of the 1,000 startups that now faces uncertainty. And if you take a look at the details of this thing, they were having a 40% sale. True story, promo code bank run. So we'll see if me, Kevin, jumps on that thing or not. But it is pretty funny. And I mean, I understand. I mean, I really do. Is that, if you're not getting paid and your money's tied in this thing, it's actually quite scary. And us from the outside, we're making jokes and stuff like that. But I do completely understand. This would be really, really scary. But it does sound like you're going to get your insured deposited back amount, and then, like I said, maybe 30 to 50% of your uninsured will be available on Monday. And I'm sure most of these startups / people just want to get all the money that they can. And then my other understanding is if someone does come in and buy the assets of SVB, then there's a high chance that you'll get your money back. Now, the people who probably won't get their money back will be the ones who have say stock in the company / equity. So there's a high chance you're going to get wiped out regarding SVB. So we will see. But again, no one knows for certain, and I don't know. I'm just telling you what we're seeing here. And, no one likes it if you go to your bank account and it says account unavailable or your money is frozen. You can't access it. I'm sure you understand this. Silicon Valley Bank employees receive bonuses hours before government takeover. Now, on the surface, it looks bad and it sounds bad, and I'm not going to say that it doesn't. Whether or not there's something illegal going on or nefarious, who knows? This is just my understanding of it from reading this, but like I said, who knows? These sound like, at least the way they're painting it, these are bonuses from 2022. But like I said, I don't know. It could be something else. I'm just keeping it open to you guys because I don't know. The other thing is I guess the bonuses may be around 12,000 to 140,000. We'll see. On the surface level, read the headlines, it doesn't look good. But if this is all accurate, then these are bonuses from the prior year, and there's no necessarily foul play going on. There's another headline too, which I've been seeing kind of being tweeted out and stuff like that. So evidently, it was like some of the leadership with the CEO, CMO, CFO, they had sold stock before the collapse, and that certainly looks bad again. But it may not necessarily be illegal or anything like that. I mean, as I said, may not necessarily because it was a planned sale is what it's sort of been reported at. So again, both of these things, who knows? We'll find out later. I'm just telling you guys what it is. Oftentimes with these kind of things, you have to determine, okay, are these people acting in bad ways? Are they doing illegal things? Or are they simply bad at business? And it was kind of a similar thing with FTX, right? Like, are these people simply bad at business, or are they purposely doing things illegal? My initial read on the SVB thing, I don't necessarily think it's anything illegal. I think it's just poor management because essentially they bought a whole bunch of these, bonds that went down in value, and they couldn't get out of them essentially because they had to sell for a loss when customers started pulling a whole bunch of money at the same time. That's just what it looks like. But in terms of like legality, now that the government's coming in and taking this over, they're probably going to look at, okay, how can we regulate, these kind of banks more better in the future to prevent this? Because from an average person's point of view, right, you put your money in a bank. This is like the 16th largest bank in the country. So it's not like a small bank or anything. And you can't get your money. You can't pay your employees. It's a real problem, right? And it sort of damages trust in the system. And so that's why I sort of opened with you guys, like, do we trust crypto? Do we trust banks? You can read this headline as well. There's another one. Here it's like, banks down. That is why Bitcoin was created, crypto community says. So the crypto bulls are going to be, jumping all over this saying, yeah, guys, get crypto, buy my coins with dogs on it. But I still, would take dollar and a bank over crypto any day. Because even if, banks aren't great, there at least is regulations and insurance. So for example, if your crypto folds, there's no, turn 50K that you're going to get back. It's not like that you're just going to get wiped out. And so, at least there are some fail safes here. And then the other issue as well is like, say, just for example, banks, I can go to the bank, I can get a cashier's check, assuming that, you got there early in the bank run, and I can take that money and put it somewhere else. And that'll be worth something. And I can, pay for things, and I can buy food with things and stuff like that with money. Whereas like, I can't really take my Bitcoin to the local store and buy things with it. Right. So it's not quite the same, but I understand the purpose of why people are into crypto, that stuff like that. So anyway, that's the latest with SVB. Can they make payroll? Will there be a buyer? We'll find out on Monday as we continue the story. Thanks again for watching. Please share your thoughts, and I'll catch you next video.